I mean, look at that. Look at the opposition to question 3. Have you heard about this, Frank?
With the no, I haven't heard about it.
All right, the group No on Question 3 in Massachusetts. It's a former drug czar warrior. He lives in Cambridge, Mass. Now his wife's going to Harvard University for her doctorate, and he's like a speaker, drug reformer, spoke at the UN, that type of dude, funded. And then you have this other lady, Heidi Heilman, who is she runs the Mass Prevention Alliance, and they've formed a group, No on Question 3, and they put out a press release attacking myself, mentioning the King of Pot, pointing out my videos because I dared say that their ridiculous argument that no one should legalize medical marijuana is a ruse for legalization and that people should vote no because we're trying to secretly legalize it. And I responded and said, well, if
it's not a secret.
It's not a secret.
60% of Massachusetts voters also want to legalize
62% of mass voters. They were calling us the vocal minority, and I said, no, we're the silent majority, 62%. And they turned around and put out more smears and continue with their little propaganda piece, and then the press came calling, and the press found out what was actually going on, and they laughed at him again because they had already got punked by Gasick like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So it's like they're like spreading these lies, it just, and now they're saying that they're actually eating into our they're saying they think they're going to win. Like, do you think that they have?
Well, they're just grabbing at straws. Yeah. They're just grabbing at straws. I mean, these people are hopeless. They have, old dead ideas that are going the way of the dinosaur, and they're the past, and we're the future. And they should just shut up and get in line, really, because
yes.
We're the ones making the decisions. So smear campaigns and whatever crap they want to do, but it's all they got. They don't have facts. They don't have the people on their side. They've just got whatever special interest that's supporting them on their side. And obviously, we've proven through the tests, and I mean the government holds a patent on medical marijuana. So how can there be no medicinal properties if the government owns patents on it?
Yep.
I mean, let's deal in reality here. Let's look at the fact that you don't need some crazy chemical pill that some company made when you can just smoke some weed to get the same effects, and it's going to have barely any of the health consequences, if any at all. So I mean, this just comes down to money, and interest.
Absolutely.
And they're just trying to be like, oh, you guys are mad because they're mad because they're going to lose.
I know.
Yep.
I think that the King
desperate.
I think that the King of Pot, who they try to make look like he was some crazy dude in their email. They put out this official press release.
That's so ridiculous.
Totally
how did that help you in terms of views on your videos?
It got more views for me,
stuff.
but I also just want to talk about the credibility issue. They try to label the King of Pot as being really out there. And if you really look at the King of Pot, he has been political. He has done a lot of activism. And if you look at his story, once you know who the King of Pot is, you find out about his story. His story is very credible. And I think if you did a poll of Massachusetts voters right now, alone, and you put up Kevin Sabet versus the King of Pot, I think the King of Pot would have more credibility among voters than Kevin Sabet. If you ask voters which one is more outrageous when you put out the full substance of who these people are on the internet, which everyone's going to look at, I think more people would support the King of Pot than Kevin Sabet. So, I mean, that just says it all for us. They can't find anything against us anymore because we're always right.
Simple as that.
Yeah, most of the time.
No, we're always right.
On marijuana, we're always right. Because, come on.
Did I learn nothing from the school I just went to? Yes, we are always right.
On weed. You're right. I should amend it. I've amended it. Can we say we're always right on weed?
Yeah, at least we got that part down at this point.
Right?
One would hope.
Absolutely.
One would hope.
Absolutely.
We have another phone call?
That's funny, though.
Frank, we're going to take a phone call. Let's hang on the line.
Awesome.
Let's see if they have any questions for you. Hello, who's calling?
Hello, it's Garrett. How you doing?
Oh, man.
Hey, what's up, Garrett?
I heard you guys talking about King of Pot.
What do you want to say?
I just want to give KOP the hugest props for printing out 1,500 flyers for Art of the Fed.
Yeah! See what I'm talking about, dude? dude's got credibility. I don't see anyone calling in for Kevin Sabet or Heidi Heilman. I see people calling in for the King of Pot. Wow.
Yeah.
You want to say more about that?
I'm at the office right now, but I heard you guys talking about him, so I just wanted to give a huge shout out because he was a huge help. So anybody out there, support our fellow revolutionary, kopproductions.com.
Damn right. Thank you, Garrett. That was a great call. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
dude.
man. Garrett Kirkland.
Hey, why don't you have those guys on the show?
Who?
Kevin Sabet and his henchman.
Actually, I just sent him an email today. I said, you know what, dude? Come on and debate my can. So
yeah, let's see what he has to say right when he's in the studio.
Let's see if he wants to do it. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they will.
I don't think they'll do it either.
But you know what? Let people know. Mike Cann is. Let's make that official. The two hotheads.
Yes.
We have put out the official. We will be fair. We'll even get a moderator. We'll make rules if they want rules. But we will have a debate. And I told them just come in and be fair.
Tag team debate
against Kevin and whoever. If he wants to bring in Heidi,
Kevin and Heidi.
Kevin and
versus
Heidi.
Heather Mack and Mike Cann.
I'm calling it the Kevin and Heidi show. Welcome to the Mike and Heather show. You know what I mean? Like Mike and Heather versus Kevin and Heidi.
Probably give them way more publicity than they've gotten so far, yo.
Exactly.
No kidding, right?
What have they raised so far? $600 to our like $500,000. There was a there was a Metro article like a few weeks ago that said that the Mass Prevention Alliance and No on 3 had raised $600. A total of $600.
You know how you could tell they're not that effective either. Like they're not like. They put on my video. They promoted all my videos.
Yeah.
They promoted this one specific video the most. And that video got a few hits from them, but not that many. Considering how outrageous it was, you would expect that I would have gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views. But like our own media, our own Facebook got way more views of that video. You know what I'm saying? Like we have so much more share and power.
Yeah, people, because that's such a ridiculous argument. It's like, oh, this one guy said, like, yes, Massachusetts wants to legalize weed, and so do I. And that's supposed to negate all the arguments of medical marijuana. And it's like, nobody's going to buy that. Like, it's pathetic.
62% want legal.
The shit they say on their website is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing about 92% of teens that go to rehab are there for marijuana addiction. It's like,
are you serious?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Website?
Yes, because they can say no. It really was because it's like they say that, but it's basically because if teens get caught with weed, they often, instead of having something on their record, they'll say, oh well, if you decide to go to rehab and you go to rehab and you pay us a bunch of money and you pay the rehab a bunch of money, and then we can say, oh, you got admitted for marijuana.
And even religious,
but it doesn't mean that you ever had a problem with weed or were addicted to weed. You're just forced into rehab.
Even parents who are overly ridiculous on weed, or maybe religious or Mormon, like I don't want to stereotype, but there are certain parents like that will react by sending their kid to rehab because they think he has a weed problem. Like they don't know how to deal with it. They have no experience with it.
I mean, how like you're going to send your kid to rehab where people are doing like hard drugs, like people are addicted to meth and crack and heroin, and you're like, that's where you think your kid belongs to smoke weed?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and now they're going to learn how to be a way better drug addict when they come out, just like when people go to prison and they turn out being way better criminals when they come out because they have no other options because they just wasted so much of their life.
Exactly. And then it's the weed's fault, right? And then, oh my God, if my son never smoked marijuana, he would have never gone to rehab.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's
Crazy
ass shit. Yeah, exactly. So it blows my mind that they're totally grasping at straws, but it's not going to work. They're not going to win.
It's absolutely not going to work. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We're all going to eat Twinkies?
Yeah. Make sure to go to voteNoOnQuestion3.org, I believe is the official website.
Yeah, they did it.
I got my voter information packet, and it
I got that too, yeah.
Yep, and it was sure as hell fucking said.
They updated it. Have you seen the update?
Oh, yeah. Now it's like, oh, just kidding. We totally support marijuana legalization.
They had an update up over there. They updated it.
Oh, my God.
If people don't know, people don't know.
A genius.
That was the one that we're talking about. Scott Gasick. He found out that, and I almost did this to Kevin. I was like, fuck that. I ain't doing it myself. But like Kevin Sabet, if you go to his actual website right now, he lost his domain too. Like he has a website for like his private his public policy group or whatever that he links to on all his websites is no longer owned by him. And that's what happened.
Scott Kasich buying that one up
yeah,
too?
Scott, you can get that one too.
Yeah,
You can get
on,
Kevin
dude.
Sabet's.
You should buy it, Mike.
No, Kevin Sabet has kevinsabet.com. That's current, but there's another website that he gave up. But Kasich did that to them. There was a website. What is it? Mass Vote No?
No, vote no on question3.org.
That they had advertised, especially big time in the state pamphlet, the voter guide that went out to all the voters of Massachusetts. And they didn't have the website registered. This kid,
Right.
Scott Kasich, we know, registered it and punked them and spoofed them and put an onion-like website up there. And it was
Mayan
hilarious.
apocalypse is impending due to marijuana use. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Unreal.
local drugs and thugs deal, you know,
Tweaking sales go up.
Yeah. Drug dealers union says, please don't legalize medical marijuana. It's amazing. And now apparently it's another spoof site that just says, yeah, just kidding. We totally support legalizing marijuana.
Yep. We changed our mind. They're right.